WXC, The Waxed here. In today's video, I'd like to talk about what I'm coining viral urban myths. So, as you might know, a lot of the vinyl I collect comes from me going to thrift stores. And either if I don't like it, I'll put it on Discogs and let someone else enjoy it. But occasionally I come across some albums that I can't find a lot of information about. So that's why I like to discuss in this video. So the first one, I have two today, is Les Paul's Greatest Hits. Now this particular one came out in 1976. So I'll tell you what is interesting about this. It is on Discogs. I found it and put this into my collection. But not a lot of information about it. And I searched all over the internet to find more about it. It's a 2-album set. And this is the backstory that I've been able to put together. I believe Les was in a self-imposed retirement, I think around the mid-60s, that went into the 70s. And from what I can gather, he was coaxed out of retirement by the guitarist Chet Atkins, who at the time ran RCA. And they did at least 1 or 2 albums together around the mid-70s, I think around this time, 76. But then Les went out and re-recorded all his hit songs, thus this album. It was independently distributed by a company called Mad Bag Productions out of Rye, New York. I'll show you the back. And basically re-recorded all his songs. Obviously his wife had passed away by this time, so he had another singer, Helen Streif, do the vocals on not all the songs, a lot are instrumentals. Here's what I can find out, or I did find out. So he re-recorded it. It was put out on Discogs, and I couldn't find a lot of other information, except someone on YouTube posted 2 songs from this. And in their description, they say that Capitol, who I guess Les was on, forced Les to pull the release of this album. That's all that's said. It doesn't say how far into the release. It doesn't have any verifiable information other than what I just told you. So, it's I've tried to verify that story. I've reached out to friends in the record industry, and they're still trying to find out. No one knows a lot about this album. It's pretty generic in its appearance. It's pretty flimsy vinyl. I guess at the time, maybe that's what they used. This is one of the, and they neatly color-coded each one. This is gray, the other was blue. Sounds great. I've cleaned it up. It's pretty mint condition. I don't know if it was sold on TV or in newspapers or in magazines, but the release was pulled. And not many people have copies of it on Discogs. So, if anyone can help me, as far as I'm concerned, it is a viral urban myth. So that's record 1. Next one isn't so much an urban myth because people know about it. I guess in the early 70s, Warner Brothers did a thing where they did 2-for albums. And with the Beach Boys, they did 2-for albums. This is known, and this album is known. On the release of this album, I think it was 72-ish, is Carl and the Passions. So tough. You can see the nice ring wear on this. It is a well worn, but it is a gatefold. And the reason I say it's a twofer is because it's 2 albums. The other album is Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds. So I guess to kind of influence people to buy the new album, they attached one of the best albums ever made to it. And it's a nice gatefold where it has the incarnation of the Beach Boys for this Carl and the Passions. You see all of them, and the 2 members, I guess, who were with them through their late 60s, early 70s. And this has some great songs on here, but I think it's a very at the lower end of what's considered classic Beach Boys albums. But here's the fascinating thing about this Pet Sounds. And I've seen people do shootouts of different versions of Beach Boy albums. The gentleman, the cool-ass gentleman, the In-Groove in Phoenix. I know everyone watches his videos. But he didn't include this. And here's what I could find out about this. A friend of mine who's very in the know in the industry tells me that this particular version of the Beach Boys Pet Sounds, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, was mastered by Carl at the time. And it was the version they used, I think, to put out maybe a 30th anniversary issue was from that master. This is the story I know. Teetering on the edge of vinyl urban myths. I was about to say something else because I'm feeble-minded. But and I'll show you the albums themselves, because they got the cool label on it. This is Pet Sounds. It has, I know it's splotchy. It's got a lot of marks on it. It needs to be cleaned up some, but it has the record label Brothers, I'm guessing, in the reprise of the side. And yeah, this is pretty worn, but you know. And then here's the Carl and the Passions. Sounds like bubble wrap, you know, when I'm playing it, popping. But quite fascinating that supposedly, if it's true, this Pet Sounds version should be in some sort of shootout. It's probably one of the better. I've read on some forums that people consider this a great pressing. So, interesting. Interesting stuff. So, everyone, hopefully this will be a regular feature video for me. I'm coining it here in case I have to sue someone. Vinyl Urban Myths. Until next time, please subscribe, and leave your comments below. This is The Waxed. See you next time.